Check out my screen. This group of people in the last 12 months has literally done tens of millions of dollars worth of sales. This group of people are the 40 people who were at last year's 80/20 Summit. I wish I could specifically point out people and tell you about the exact results that I know about, because you would be astounded to know what this group has done. I can tell you some of the results, though, without pointing out people. I can tell you that there was at least $1 million deal between a few people in this picture. I can tell you that there's at least one person in this group that took their business from a few million a year to in excess of 10 million a year just in the last 12 months. There's at least two, if not three people in this group who in the last 12 months realized they were never going to get the leverage that they wanted out of the business that they had. And so they pivoted and are now building related but different businesses that offer them so much more leverage just by the very design of the business that they've chosen. I'm in this picture, and my company itself has done, I'll point out Great Assistant specifically. Great Assistant specifically has done hundreds of thousands of dollars of gross profit in the last 12 months. Now, there's one guy in particular I can tell you some of the results of. It's this guy right here. His name's Steve Siddell. This is his wife, Lindsay. And they flew from Los Angeles, California, up to Canada, which is where the summit was last year. And Steve has been texting me and emailing Perry over the last 12 months to keep us posted on his progress. Check this out. So there's Steve and Lindsay again. And there they are. And Steve and Lindsay are both in the physiotherapy field. And Steve has told us, no kidding, that in the last 12 months, his business has grown sales-wise by in excess of 150%. So he's doubled and then half again the sales volume of his company. And while I would never be so arrogant to believe that it was our course that did all of it for him, I mean, it's him who implemented. Likewise, with everybody in the room, I mean, it's not Perry and I's teachings that have actually executed everything. Neither Perry nor I would lay claim to that. We did help set the vision, though. And to the point that Steve and Lindsay have provided us with this graph of their sales. And if you take a look, this is October 2016 right there. And, you know, that's like 1.5 little blue bars. And you can see in August of 2017, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 bars. So they are sailing. There's no doubt about that. Steve went so far as to share a really, really beautiful line. He said, 80/20 Summit last year to date was the biggest game changer for my business. I still can't thank you guys enough. I met Perry for the first time at the summit, which was in October 2016, and my business has taken off. I am so honored to be a part of Steve and Lindsay's success story and a part of the success story of everybody who attends Summit. Now, Perry had a great idea. He said, Tim, why don't we bring Steve onto a webinar so he can explain specifically what he learned at Summit and then specifically what he implemented in the months since Summit to generate such an extraordinary explosion in growth in his company. So I encourage you to join Perry and I on a webinar that we're doing with Steve. It's going to be happening this upcoming Monday, September the 11th at 2 Eastern, which is 12 o'clock Mountain or 11 a.m. Pacific. And it's a free webinar. Obviously, at the end of the webinar, we'll be telling people a little bit about this upcoming summit, which is happening in a few weeks. But even if you're not interested in the upcoming summit, do come and listen to Steve's story. I'm sure that you'll walk away going, holy smokes, I have some extraordinary new, not just inspiration, but education about what I can do in my own business next. If you'd like to register for this webinar, you can do so right here. It's at perrymarshall.com/training/Steve. And you'll get the GoToMeeting link sent directly to your inbox. You can even put in your phone number for a text message reminder, which can be really helpful. And you'll get insight into how 80/20 is changing the life of entrepreneurs, in this case specifically, Steve Siddall. And if you're curious to know if this kind of growth is possible for you too, be sure to be on this webinar. Perry, myself, and Steve will be revealing a ton of fantastic how-tos and insights so that you can head in the same direction as Steve Siddall. Thanks so much for watching this video. I look forward to seeing you on the webinar.